Pathway for the Small Boat Sailing Scheme Dinghy Instructor. We're going to look at the prerequisites required and also the skills required. So let's look at what's needed to become a dinghy instructor. You need to be within 6 months of your 17th birthday. You need to have your powerboat level 2, and remember you must then log 20 hours. You need to have your first aid. You need to have a Garda vetting, and you need to have passed your pre-entry. So let's look at the pre-entry first, or where to get the information. If you go to the sailing.ie website and click on the training, there you will find on the library the instructors and coaches, and scroll down and you will get the pre-entry section. And in that pre-entry section you will find the pre-entry assessment papers, of which there's 3, and you will get one of those at your pre-entry course. So now let's look at the skills required. Rigging, launching recovery, follow the leader, sail a triangle, rudderless, coming alongside, picking up and mooring, man overboard, tight circles, capsize and knots. So first we're going to look at rigging and then knots before we go into a video of the skills required. So let's look at the rigging first. You must make sure that the boat you are using for your pre-entry is rigged properly. You will be assessed, so make sails are up full, correct rig tension, and the sails are all done for the right conditions. So now we're going to look at the knots first, the dinghy instructor needs to know, and then a video of on the water skills required to be a dinghy instructor. You'll need to know the bowline, the clove hitch, the figure of 8, the square knot or the reef knot as we know it, round turn to half hitches, a sheet bend, and how to coil a rope properly. Launching depends on the wind direction, whether it's an offshore breeze or an onshore breeze. Here you can see it's an offshore breeze, so a lot easier to implement the launch. If you have an onshore breeze, well then it takes a little bit more time and effort. But here you can see the helm's able to hold the boat head to wind while in very shallow water. The crew then gets the rudder ready to drop, only a small bit in order to sail away from the slip. As soon as they've done that, they get the daggerboard or centerboard ready to put in place while the helm continuously keeps the boat head to wind. As soon as they've got the rudder and the daggerboard sorted, the helm lets the boat start to go around to catch the wind. There should be no jibing or tacking at this instance. Just sail away from the shore to a safe distance away from shore, and then the boat comes back around head to wind. Make sure you keep the boom on one side while head to wind, while you make sure the rudder is fully down, and then sail away and start the exercises. So here we're going to start with follow the leader. Here you can see the boat, the blue boat, following the rib, using the sails in and out to keep the same distance behind the rib the whole time. So let's watch this on video. Here you can see the rib in front, the crew letting the jib in and out to keep the same distance. The same with the helm is letting the main in and out to control the distance. All the time anticipating whether the rib is going to accelerate or slow down. So letting sails in or out to do it. Here you can see a jibe. A jibe can also be quite tricky because a boat can accelerate straight after the jibe a little bit and accelerate you. So there you can see the crew drops the jib immediately. And another way of stopping the boat on a run is just bring the main fully in, as you can see here. That'll slow the boat down, then accelerate again. Try not to use the rudder to slow the boat down. Use the sails and your trim. Another alternative is to let the kicker off. So jib off, main off, kicker off will slow the boat down. So let's look at these from on the boat again. Here we can see the helm pulling the main fully in order to slow the boat down. Pulling the main fully in. Here you can see the crew lets the jib off, controlling the speed, back in again, letting it off, and the next is the kicker. Letting the kicker right off opens the leech on the main at the top. Now we're going to sail a triangle. A triangle is about implementing the 5 E's. Watching how you roll tack, how you jibe, how you go around the marks, windward heel, how you sail set and balance and trim the boat on the reach, how you use your again balance to jibe, control the boat again on the reach, sail trim, your balance, and again the leeward mark with leeward heel, main in first followed by jib. So let's watch this on video. Here you can see the main being trimmed all the time by the helm to keep the boat flat. Main goes out, main comes in, and the helm and crew are staying fairly statically fully hiked all the time. Now they go for a tack, luff first, then tack across the boat, playing the main all the time, get back into hiking mode, and again watching the trim. Downwind, again it's about sail trim, body trim, and keeping the boat flat. Here now we'll see windward heel for the jibe. Windward heel to make the boat bear off, around the mark, and back onto reach. So again, back into sail trim. All of these just take practice, but it's just watching your sail trim, your balance, and how you move the heel to make the boat turn. Here you get a bit of leeward heel to go around the leeward mark, just a small bit of leeward heel, and the boat will turn, and then balance, and then back into sail trim again. Now we're into rudderless. Let's look at the rudderless here, which is basically sailing a triangle without using a rudder. Now some boats have daggerboards, some boats have centerboards. If you have a centerboard, you can rake the centerboard aft and take the rudder blade up if you wish. The other one is here we have a daggerboard, so we leave the rudder down but put shock cord on it. And again, that implements the balance of the boat and sees what you're like on your rudderless, not if it breaks, more you're implementing your 5 E's. So here we can see the boat, the rudder is just being held by a shock cord, the helm doesn't touch it at all, and it's all about body trim and sail trim. Here you can see a little bit of leeward heel to make the boat luff up, the main comes on also, then the main goes off and jib is backed a little bit to make the boat turn. And again, watching the main, here they are coming into the weather mark. You can see weather heel, main out, jib on to make the boat bear off, and now onto a reach. Again, just keeping the boat flat, because once you put heel, here you'll see a bit of weather heel to make the boat turn. They lean out a little bit, make a turn, not too much. Boat turns, jib is let off, and main off, and now jib on to bring the bow away, and then main on again to bring it back straight, keeping the boat flat all the ways down to the bottom mark. And then back upwind again. Here you can see the main and jib being trimmed and the body weight being trimmed in and out to keep the boat flat, or if you wish to turn, then you introduce heel. Tack on here, jib is backed a little bit to make a turn, main off, and then main on to bring the bow back up again. Now coming alongside. Coming alongside is all about controlling your speed. Fill and spill, letting the main in and out, jib in and out to bring the boat alongside. It's very important that you stop alongside, that you don't have to put on the brakes and catch on to stop the boat. So again, let's watch the boat coming in. The jib is flapping, main is let out. Up they come towards the rib, and you'll see it come up alongside. Helm puts out the hand and just catches onto the rib, and the boom is always kept on the opposite side, so it doesn't come in and hit either helm or crew. Now we've man overboard. This is an important manoeuvre because there is a method. You must always tack, bearing off onto a broad reach, and then back in like we did with the MOB or with the coming alongside or any of those, controlling your speed and up alongside the MOB. Again, keeping the boom on the opposite side to the MOB. So let's watch this in video. The crew does nothing in this manoeuvre because they're actually gone. So the jib is let loose, the helm keeps an eye on the MOB, goes up into attack when they're happy with not too much wind, goes off onto a broad reach, controls their speed again, keeping an eye on the MOB, again controlling speed, fill and spill, starts to come up towards the mark a little bit, or the MOB, and then up alongside, again letting that main, slowing the boat down, and then alongside the MOB, keeping that boom on the opposite side all the time. Don't let the boom come into the centre, or it's liable to hit the helm or when you're pulling the person in. So picking up a mooring. Picking up a mooring is very much the same as the other ones, but you've just got to stay alongside the mooring a lot longer. So the helm has got to keep the boat head to wind while the crew is tying on. Tide circles. This is going round and round a rib or a mark inside a zone, and basically it's using and implementing the 5Es. So let's watch it on video and watch the crew and the helm implementing the 5Es as they go round the rib. So here they are approaching the rib. You'll see onto the breeze here, main in, jib in, hiking, and then into a roll tack where they both lean after the boat goes head to wind, and then lean out to make the boat bear off. So they get windward heel, the boat bears off, keep that heel to make the boat round up again, controlling the sail trim. And remember, the jib is got to be controlled at the right time, because if you pull the jib on too quick, it'll make the bow bear away. If you pull it on too late, it'll make the boat point up. So it's very critical on the jib. See the way the jib is held a little bit longer as they bear off in order to pull the bow away. Here the main will come in first, and then the jib will come in. So it's all about the roll tacks and implementing the 5Es, the tide circle. And then we're into recovery, which is bringing the boat back in. Here you can see there's an offshore breeze, so it's quite light here in this, but you can see the helm just controls the speed coming in, brings up the daggerboard at the last minute because otherwise the boat will start going sideways, and then the crew steps in and holds the boat head to wind. When the boat's been held, now the helm can go back and bring the rudder up. Just remember, if it's an onshore breeze, you should drop the main before you come in, so you've more control of the boat as you come in. So really, there's different techniques to different wind directions. So I hope you got a good bit from this video, and that we look forward to seeing you being a dinghy instructor in the future.